Hey, this is Kayye. We're here live on the show floor at the DSE 2022 show here in Las Vegas, the first DSE show since 2019. And digital signage is not like the rest of the AV market. It's very different, but it uses a lot of AV gear. And I'm here with Amahl Hazelton, who's with Moment Factory. Amahl, what do you do with Moment Factory?
I'm working on development and strategy for business development for our new projects. I work with a lot of the people that we see on the floor here today, and it's great to see everybody back now after the pandemic.
All right, so Moment Factory, you've seen their work, you just don't realize you've seen their work. Tell them what you do.
Well, about 30%, 40% of our business is working on giant multimedia installations that are predominantly LED in public spaces. So we're talking about LAX Airport, we're talking about Newark Airport, which is just about to open, and all of the states will be looking at that. Moynihan Station, which is the busiest train station in the United States. So those kind of projects that have a digital signage component, often rev gen, but also a dominant amount of creative content going into it.
And what you're doing is you're helping the customer, the client, turn that into whatever the facility is into an experience. And LAX is a good example of that. How many millions of dollars worth of LEDs are there? And it's not primarily necessarily for advertising, it's an experience, right?
Well, it started out certainly as a placemaking exercise.
Yeah.
So there's about 70 million was invested into that project back in 2013 when it opened. And but what they wanted to do was to really anchor the visitor experience. If you know airports, they actually make most of their money off of the retail food and beverage component. So they're actually mostly a shopping center that happens to have in and out airbound traffic. Yeah. So the retail zone is where they invested most of their digital signage to create placemaking, increase dwell time, increase visitorship, and ultimately increase the rents that they make from the retail.
Right, and with signage like this, you can do real-time content distribution, and, and you can even make it interactive. And in fact, let's go. You've got a great sizzle reel that kind of shows projects that you've done.
Absolutely.
So let's play the sizzle reel so you can see what we're talking about.
It's a little bit like the campfire in the sense that people have gathered since the beginning of time around campfires to tell stories and gather in communities. And now the fire has changed and the technology has changed and the stories have changed, but the basic human need has stayed the same.
We do it in public. It's in a way the through line to all the different types of work that we do across many different mediums.
The we is about the people, it's about the team, it's about all those people that are contributing to the project. So we is about a culture, it's about a way of thinking whereby everybody is working together as a team.
We value a variety of different inputs. We take from everything around us.
We've been really lucky to have such an amazing variety of clients throughout the years, whether they're rock stars, cities, museums, brands, and this collaboration that we managed to create within these different projects taught us so much throughout the years, and we've really grown through our relationships with all these great people.
All the experience we design here take place in different environments, in different contexts, with different kind of public. It's really a great opportunity for creators to be able to each time have a different canvas.
The risk is an essential element. Placing people in a state of being allowed to being wrong and make errors. It's gonna give them the confidence to really push the limits and try new stuff, and this is where innovation comes.
Pushing the boundaries of our work, doing magic, hijacking technologies, doing lots of R&Ds, trying to figure out how we can bridge between cool stuff happening in other industries, bringing them to our works.
I find the magic is the alchemy between how we deal with technology and how we customize technology to suit our own purposes.
We use interactivity and technology to bring people together in the same space and engaging with our content, with our story.
We live to experience. When we create experiences, we're creating a moment of people's lives.
How can I make the people feel the same amount of excitement in this moment that I'm feeling now while I'm creating it?
It's such an emotional feeling when you poured your heart and soul into a piece of work and then you have the crowd give that same level of magic back.
The emotion is at the core of all our projects, and I think that's what also defines us and differentiates us as well.
So it's the combination of all these things that we really care about. We think that this collaboration can create a new campfire, a digital campfire, and that it can foster communion and bringing people together in new ways that we can't even imagine today. And that's why we do it in public.
All right, that, if you don't understand what they do from watching that, then you don't understand anything. As you can see, millions of dollars, $70 million in the LAX airport to build an experience. But you know, you started your beginning started in live events, so you have a unique experience and unique skill set because you understand how it is, what it's like to entertain people in real time, and then apply it to an installation.
Exactly. So we're about 450 employees now. And we've been around since 2001. So over the past 22 years, I'd say the first 10 years of our existence was really making a name in live entertainment. 9 Inch Nails, Lights in the Sky tour, working with Chris Milk, working on giant Cirque du Soleil shows and installations around the world. And then in around 2009, 2010, we started taking all of that know-how from the live entertainment, the technical side, which involved a lot of risk, and the content side, making a great emotion, making spectacle, and transferring that into giant placemaking real estate development projects. Public spaces, airports, commercial developments, lobbies of giant towers, office towers, things like that.
Ultimately, you want to turn it into an experience so that people have a memory of it. And people, we are visual memory. We remember things that are visual. So we are going to take something, and instead of just putting, you know, hey, here's our brand and here's our product, you're turning an experience that could include that, but also could gamify it, it could make it actionable, or it could make it sort of like immerse you in a different world, right?
Well, all of these developers that are looking at digital signage as a possibility in their business plan have 5 objectives, and they all share them. One is they want to be top of mind. They want to be the first place somebody thinks of as an office tower to rent for my employees, as an airport, as a destination, as a theme park, as a museum, etc. All of those are using digital signage more and more. Secondly, they want to have more visitorship. Thirdly, they want those visitors to spend more time in their destination because that's how they convert and make money. Fourth, they want to have an engagement. They're no longer just this, here's a space, here's a person, and there's no relationship between it. They want to be connected to them on social media and things. And these kind of digital signage displays are the perfect way to start capturing people, feeding into them. And ultimately, they love those spaces because they're full of content, they're programming, and when they're interactive, you just mentioned interactivity. That is the real
That's
hook.
the holy grail right there.
That's the holy grail because people suddenly can influence the physical environment that surrounds them, which they've never been
and
able to do.
And you can proof of concept is sitting there watching people take out their phone and interact with it, or use their fingers and
Not
interact
just their
with
phone, walking down the street, and all of a sudden the wall changes because of you, or you can take a selfie with it that's automatic photo booth. Those kind of things are incredibly powerful in creating engagement and repeat visitorship. That's what destinations depend on.
So if you're an integrator, and you know the problem with this kind of stuff, the way I look at it is that the customer in many cases wants this, but they don't even know how to ask for it. So they might ask for an LED, problem. And you're going to sell them an LED, and really they want you to sell the creative experience that goes along with it, and that's what Moment Factory does.
That's what we do, and I can say that as many leads as we get from end clients finding us, talking to us, and hiring us to design and produce these kind of installations, we're getting just as many projects coming from some of the best technology companies in the world. Some of the people on the floor here at DSE calling us up saying the client bought X million dollars worth of LED.
They need content on it.
They don't know how to program it. They don't know what they want to put on it. Can you help them out?
It's sad that it's being done backwards.
But that's the architectural process.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's like, let's build the brick and mortar, and then afterwards we'll
figure out what to put in there.
Part.
All right. Check them out at momentfactory.com, momentfactory.com. Amahl, thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure,
appreciate you dropping by our broadcast center here at the DSE show in Las Vegas. It's still just day one. We got a lot of interviews, a lot of content, a lot of people to share things with. Keep watching our content. And, of course, see all of our DSE coverage at ravepubs.com.